Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Begin on page 1 with Olam Chesed.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to everyone joining us here in the sanctuary. Welcome to those of you joining us from home. And I want to welcome a special guest this evening. Congressman Josh Harder is here, a good friend to our community. And I'm not exactly sure of your title, Adam, but Chief of Staff of the local office? District. I gave you a promotion. Adam Cheshire is also here, and we welcome them. And at the end of the service, we'll invite Josh to say words of greeting. Tonight, our service takes on a more somber tone than our usual joyous Shabbat services, as we are also commemorating this evening Yom Hashoa, the day on which Jews around the world remember the Holocaust, Shoah being the Hebrew word for Holocaust. Through special readings, many drawn from the diaries of survivors and victims, and through music connected to the Shoah, we remember and we pay homage to the 6 million Jews who were murdered for no other reason than that they were Jews. We also remember the Roma and Sinti and political dissidents and individuals persecuted for their sexual orientation or identity, all deemed undesirable by the Nazi regime, and so many of them sent to their deaths and to the camps. It is our responsibility to remember, to never forget what can happen when humanity is under attack, when truth is bent to political ends, and when entire peoples are scapegoated. These are lessons we know all too well, and we have seen where they can lead. When we say never again, it is not only a statement of Jewish resolve to never again find ourselves rendered helpless, it is also an appeal to the moral conscience of the world, to awaken, to confront hatred, to discern between good and evil. This lesson remains as urgent today as ever. As our service continues now, we sing together, Ani Ma'amin, I believe. This melody is forever bound to the Shoah, as many Jews sang it in the darkest moments of their lives as a source of comfort and hope. It is a declaration of enduring faith. I believe, with perfect faith in the coming of the Messiah, in a future of true peace, a world made whole for all humanity. Even though that day may seem distant, I will continue to believe. Let us draw on that hope and affirm for our generation and for generations to come, Ani Ma'amin, I believe.
It's on page 2. Ani Ma'amin, Ani Ma'amin, Ani Ma'amin, Be'emunah Shlema, Be'viat HaMashiach, Be'viat HaMashiach, Ani Ma'amin, ve'af al pi she'yitmamea, im kol zeh ani ma'amin, ani ma'amin, ani ma'amin, ani ma'amin, ve'emunah shlema, ve'af al pi she'yitmamea, im kol zeh ani ma'amin, ve'af al pi she'yitmamea, im kol zeh ani ma'amin. We light 6 candles now to remember the 6 million and to honor the memory of survivors who once blessed our community with their presence. Beloved people we remember, like Henry Epstein and Rose Meyer, a blessed memory, and so many others who shared their experiences with us. And when they did, they delivered a message we needed to hear. But they also reminded us over and over again to be a positive light to the world. And their message is summed up in 3 words: do not hate. Our 6 candles of remembrance tonight will be lit by descendants of survivors, because we have no survivors left. And we invite them now to come forward. Deborah Blinder, Marianne Messenger, Marion Goldberg, Dave Neustadt, Mark Corin, and Pete Badinsky. I look at these 6 wonderful members of our community and I realize the legacy of their loved ones, of what it meant to be a Jew, what it meant to love your people is certainly carried on as a living legacy through them. And we thank them for coming forward and lighting candles in honor of their loved ones and in honor of the 6 million. Thank you. And as our service continues, we light other candles now. We light candles for Shabbat. And I welcome onto the Bima members of our B'nai Mitzvah class tomorrow. We celebrate a Simcha, and we have a perfect minyan of 10 adult members of our congregation who devoted themselves to 2 years of intensive study, preparing, learning, some of them Hebrew from the very beginning. And tomorrow they will lead our service, and each of them will share words of inspiration, and each of them will chant from our Torah portion. And let us read together first at the top of page 3. 2 elements are inextricably interwoven within the Jewish tradition, Zachor and Shamor, remembering and guarding. We light 2 candles on Shabbat to honor this day as Torah teaches, with Zachor and Shamor, remembering and guarding. This Shabbat we call upon these elements as we commemorate the Shoah. We ask ourselves, Zachor, what is the nature of our responsibility to remember? Shamor, what does the memory of the Shoah call us to do?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. We continue on page 4.
In just a moment, we're going to read some very poetic and thought-provoking words about the Holocaust. But first, we want to share with you our own more ordinary words that connect the reading. Sometimes it can seem like the Shoah is a part of a long ago past, but there are moments when the past and the present converge. That happened in our home this week. 2 things, by nothing other than coincidence, overlapped. Bill and I are in the midst of planning a trip to Prague, Czechoslovakia. Our main purpose is to visit the Theresian camp where Bill's grandfather, Berthold, was imprisoned during World War II. Just this week, we received photos of original documentation with his prisoner number, the dates of his time in Theresian, and a map showing the location of each barracks he was assigned to. There was a form with a box labeled Fate, with the word survived in it. After almost 3 years in the camp, at the age of 75 and weighing 75 pounds, Berthold left the camp alive. The second piece is that this week our 14-year-old grandson, Elliot, who had been previously unaware of Berthold's story, called, wanting to interview Bill to learn about our family's Holocaust history for a school project. The timing was eerie. At the same time Elliot was writing and asking questions, new information was appearing in our inbox from the archives at Theresen. The past was colliding with the present. Elliot's paper was titled, How Berthold Meyer Saved His Family, and it ends with these words. The story of Berthold and his family is astonishing and horrific at the same time. His bravery and courage saved all his kids and himself. He even managed to reunite with his family and live the rest of his days surrounded by his loved ones. I believe that stories like this and many others are important to remember so we can know what happened during the Holocaust and never forget, so we can prevent anything like this from ever happening again. It is now 2026, and there are only a few Holocaust survivors still alive today. I think it's very important to share stories like this, not only to keep our own family's history alive, but also to spread awareness about this horrible event.
We were not there. We did not experience or suffer it. And yet, we take upon ourselves the responsibility to remember and the commitment to remember responsibly. Even if I have no words and you have few, whether we are far away or near, whether we are close kin of heirs or distance, we assemble a place within ourselves, among ourselves, a meeting place, a convergence of memories. We are present now.
We were not there, and yet, let us enter into this gathering to remember the Shoah that annihilated 1/3 of the Jewish people, 6 million women, men, and children. Let us recall the extermination decree against every Jew, wherever they may be, against every human being for being different. We are all survivors of the extermination decree. Let us remember the Jewish communities that were scattered, uprooted, and wiped out, from east to west, from north to south. Let us lament the murdered, light a candle in their memory. Let us confront evil, for at the entrance sin is crouching, then and now. And against it, let us honor and exalt the dedication of those who fought in the struggle for human dignity, of women, men, and children, and of the righteous among the nations. Let us praise the uprising of the survivors, the deported and the uprooted. And then let us reflect and ask ourselves, how should we regard our being here today? In a place where there is no humanity, strive to be human. Let us hold out our hands and rise up. Let this gathering be our remembrance and our responsibility.
Thank you. We continue on page 5 as we rise for our call to worship the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Listen, Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Listen, Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Listen, Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Abad.
You may be seated. We continue on page 6. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha b'derech uv'shokbecha uvkumecha ופשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Page 7.
Nora
I lack words, but I am compelled to write. Compelled. I want to ask you all not to forget the dead. I want to beg you, asking in every way I know how, to take our revenge. I want you to leave a mark for us, a headstone as tall as the heavens, a commemoration that the whole world will see, a pillar of neither marble nor stone, but of good deeds. I believe with perfect faith that only such a headstone can ensure you and your children a better future. Diary of Donia Rosen, June 23, 1943.
Our service continues on page 8 with the chanting of the Amidah, and I ask you to rise either physically or in spirit. Adonai, open up my tongue, Lufi Agita Hilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasei Avot ve'imahot, U'mevi geula livnei v'nechem, Lema'an shemo ve'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah rav le'hoshia, Mechakel chaim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Tzomech noflim verofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman natan lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kedoshim b'chol yom, Yehallelucha sela. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated.
Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohechem, Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohechem. Comfort us Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle to take care of one another. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle with this world. Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohechem. Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohechem. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle to take care of one another. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle with this world. Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohechem. Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar
We pause now for a few moments of silence, and I invite you to offer your own individual prayer, the kind that come not from the page of a prayer book, but from our own hearts and souls, or to read from the powerful meditations that begin here on page 10 and continue through page 15. Tfilat Halev, the prayer of the heart.
Yehi ul-ratzon imrefi. Yehi ul-ratzon imrefi. Ve'gyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri ve'goali. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my Redeemer. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Oh, Yah, say shalom aleinu. Ve'yakol Yisrael. Ve'imeru, ve'imeru. Amen.
We continue on page 15.
We have been here for 5 days, but it feels like 5 years. I don't know where to start because so many awful things have happened since the last time I wrote in you. First of all, they finished building the wall so no one can go in or out. Starting today, dearest diary, we don't live in the ghetto. We live in the ghetto camp. They hung signs on every house detailing exactly what we are forbidden to do. Really, everything is forbidden, but the real problem is that the punishment listed for every violation is death. It doesn't say if this punishment applies to children too, but I assume that it does indeed apply to us. From the diary of Eva Heyman, age 13.
Lightly way up high. It went away, I'm sure, because it wished to kiss the world goodbye. The very last, so richly, brightly, dazzling yellow. Perhaps if the sun's tears could sing against a white star. For 7 weeks I've lived in here, pent up inside this ghetto. But I have found my people here. The dandelions call to me, and the white chestnut candles in the court. Only I never saw another butterfly. The very last, so richly, brightly, dazzling yellow. Perhaps if the sun steers, could sing against a white star. That butterfly was the last one. Butterflies don't live in here. In each of our services, we like to sing a Misha Berach, a special prayer for strength and for health and for healing for our friends and family who are facing challenges of life, whether that be a physical ailment or an emotional upset or a difficult time. And I invite those of you who are joining us from home, if you like to put the names of friends and family for whom you'd like to pray the Misha Berach in the chat to share. And everyone here, if you have a name or two of a friend or a loved one who's struggling in some way and you'd like to add their name to our Misha Berach, I invite you to say their name aloud now. And I think it appropriate for us to add in our thoughts and to hold in our hearts all in this troubled world who are struggling through this very difficult time where we don't know from one day to the next whether there will be peace or war, where people will go hungry or find food, whether we will find a sense of peace in our lives and in our communities. And so let us pray together the Misha Berach prayer on the top of page 16. You know, the rabbis say that when we pray for health for someone, we know that it takes away 1/60th of their illness. And I don't know if that's a scientific fact or not, but I know when they know they're being prayed for, it gives them strength, and it sure feels good for us to pray these words and to send a little hope and strength. And so we add to all those names mentioned those of us here, those of you who are joining us from home who need these blessings for refuat hanefesh and refuat haguf, for healing of mind and body and spirit. Baruch atah Adonai rofeh hacholim. Blessed are you, O God, who heals the sick. Amen. And we continue now on the middle of page 16 as we rise either physically or in spirit for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר וחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Please be seated. I remember the fathers and the mothers, women, men, and children, speakers of all languages and dialects who built their lives over hundreds of years, lives of faith and commandments, lives of Torah study, lives of poetry and tradition, lives of song and festive meals, lives of mutual responsibility and aid, lives of finance and work, lives of science and art, lives of societal improvement, lives of creatureliness and creativity, lives of prayer for Zion. We remember their lives. They are the pillars of our existence. Those of you who are joining us from home, if you are in the first year of mourning the death of a loved one, we invite you to please add their names to the chat and share them to our community. This Shabbat, we remember with love family members who perished in the Holocaust and whose exact date of death, in most cases, is unknown. If you are related to those whose names I announce now, I invite you to please stand. Robert Asa, Ivan Block, Tony Block, Eva Block first, Helena Kahn, Beatrix Kaverine, Meyer Wolf Kaverine, Michael Kaverine, Rosamunda Kaverine, Hava Engelstein, Lieb Fuhr, Malka Fuhr, Nachum Fuhr, Nathan and Rosa Fuhr, Shmuel Fuhr, Cyril and Mordechai Goldwasser, Gertrude Gumpert, Julian Gumpert, Kurt Gumpert, Dora Udenberg, Max Udenberg, Natalie Kraus Silverstein, Rosalie Kronberg, Brena Kushner, Ernst Ludwig Lohengren, Heinz Lohengren, Helen Lohengren, Irma Lohengren, Julius Lohengren, Leo Lohengren, Mary Lohengren, Salo Lohengren, and Ursula Lohengren. Albert Meyer, Daniel Meyer, Erica Meyer, Lotte Meyer, Pauline Meyer, Eliezer Prepus, Heinrich Rosenthal,
Oswald Rosenthal, Rosa Rosenthal, Anne Vogelhut, David Vogelhut, and Joseph Vogelhut. All connected to members of our community, all victims of the Holocaust. And if anyone else here has relatives who died in the Holocaust whose names we don't have, I invite you to stand now and to say their names aloud. And I have many family members whose names I don't know who perished in the Holocaust. We also remember those loved ones who have a yahrzeit. Oh, first, those of you here who are in the first year of mourning the death of a loved one, I invite you to stand and please share with us the name of your precious loved ones. Zichronam levracha, may their memories be for a blessing. And the following names are the names of loved ones of our community who have a yahrzeit, the anniversary of their death sometime in the week ahead. If I say the name of your loved one, won't you please stand? We remember with love Martha Forbes, Arlene Singer, Paul Weiss, Clara Epstein, Oren Kabaker, Marcy Wardlaw, Aaliyah Deshay, Curtis Long, Israel Markowitz, Samuel Corrin, Ann Sanders, Gerald Meyer, Leah Slatkin, Phyllis Sims, Miriam Goldberg, Carol Haas, Barbara Blum, Mary Landau, Leon Platt, Samuel Zatz, Ann Hirschfield, and Helen Smith. Is there anyone else present who's observing yahrzeit this week? If so, please stand and share the names of your loved ones. Zichronam levracha. We remember all these precious loved ones, parents and grandparents, siblings, children, good friends. And we remember the 6 million. So many who died, leaving no one to remember their name and no one to say Kaddish for them. So we take them into our hearts, and in solidarity with the mourners, we rise and together recite Mourners Kaddish on page 18. Yitkadav v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, B'yoma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'galav v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mivarach le'olam ulomei omaya, yitbarak v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemenu kudusha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran b'yoma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Osei shalom b'mramav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the one who makes peace in the high places make peace right here on earth for all Israel and for all humanity. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen. We read responsively on page 19. What words can we offer as we remember the Holocaust?
Only silence speaks loudly enough for our millions who were marched into the abyss.
We have been where we did not find you, O hidden one.
Yet even there our people sang,
Let us raise our voices as one.
We sing together the song that has come to symbolize and embody the hope of our people, Israel's national anthem, Hatikva, the hope.
You may be seated. As I mentioned at the beginning of our service, we have a special guest with us this evening, Congressman Josh Harder, who is a good friend to us and to our community. Many of us have had the wonderful opportunity to meet with him many times through his years in office. And what can I say? He's a mensch. He's kind, he's compassionate, he listens, and most of all, he works very hard on behalf of everyone in the district. And we are very lucky to have him representing us in Congress and lucky to have him with us this evening. And he's promised no political speeches, but just greetings and a few words. And so please welcome, and we can clap because our service is over, Congressman Harder.
Thank you so much for that wonderful invitation. Thank you for the opportunity, and Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for the opportunity to join you for today's powerful ceremony. I think I've been thinking a lot over the last week of how I actually talk to my little daughters and communicate the importance of today and the remembrance of the Holocaust. How do you explain to a 4-year-old what actually happened? What does this actually mean? And I think it's important in that storytelling to make sure that we're not just talking about statistics, but we're talking about real stories. Because each of the 6 billion were individuals who had a name, who had a family, who had a future that was stolen from them. And the lives of many of those survivors still touch our community every day. In this congregation, so many folks have families who are survivors. I think of folks like Lynn Greenblatt and her husband, her late husband Kurt, who was a survivor, who escaped at 5 years old from Germany, whose dad went to Dachau, who ended up in France. I can't imagine the fear that a 5-year-old, just a little older than my own daughter, would have, making his way eventually to Lodi and to this synagogue where he became a teacher, an army veteran, living a life of service, going from a country where he didn't even recognize didn't belong to a community like ours. And I think that one of the messages that I take away from that is just the fragility of, the uncomfortable fragility of our institutions and the hard work that it takes to never forget. And when I really think about what we can be learning, I think it's about the importance, as the rabbi suggested, of ensuring that we are living those lives of service to make sure that the memory we're talking about tonight becomes a sense of active work every single day. I know that's not easy to do, but the camps, Auschwitz and Dachau, did not begin at the Holocaust. It began long before. It began with words, it began with ideas, it began with discriminatory hate. It started very early on and has been existing, frankly, for millennia. And at a time like this, when we're still encountering anti-Semitism, potentially even rising in communities across the globe, I think the antidote to that ignorance, to that hate, is education and making sure that as all of us go out from this service, as leaders like myself across our community go out, that we are working first and foremost on education. Because I think that is the best antidote that we have to the ignorance and the hate that continues to pervade communities all across the globe. So thank you so much for having us. It is very meaningful to me to be here, and I hope you all have a great rest of the night. Thank you.
We thank Congressman Harder, Josh, for being here, and we thank him for sharing those meaningful words. You know, many of us, especially today, poo-poo politics, right? We think all politics is bad and all our politicians are, you know, not good people. But it's not true. There are many dedicated people who dedicate their lives to making our country better, to making our communities stronger, to making a difference in the world. Someone has to stand up and do that important work, and we hope and pray that we elect people of good conscience, honest people, hardworking people who will do this very tough job, and we're so lucky to have Josh representing us, and we thank you again for being here tonight. So this short film that we're about to watch is 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes from 60 minutes. It aired in February. Some of you might have seen it, and if you did, it's worth seeing again. And if you didn't, don't go anywhere. It's called The Holocaust Youngest Survivors, and it's a powerful program that highlights the extraordinary stories of 3 survivors, Eva Clark, Hannah Berger Moran, and Mark Olsky, among the youngest Holocaust survivors, because they were born in Nazi concentration camps in April of 1945. And their mothers hid their pregnancies, surviving unimaginable conditions, with all 3 babies surviving through luck and fate just before liberation. This report, featuring Leslie Stahl, highlights their stories as a testament to life despite the immense loss of over 1.5 million Jewish children during the Shoah. Oh. They're speaking to me. I don't know what they're saying. They're saying, our friends at home, you will not be able to watch this. We can't stream this through the live stream. But you can go to YouTube at home and find this program and watch it at home.
There's a link in the chat.
And there is a link in the chat to take you right there. So go to that, press the link, and watch it while we watch it here.